Welcome back everyone to Scientist Reverse Grid League Einstein League here in beautiful Suzuki in Japan. And as we can see, it's a little bit cloudy around here, so with a little bit of luck we could see some rain maybe mid or at the end of the race after a very entertaining race at Austria. I'm very excited for these guys to race now here at Suzuki, a very technical, starting with turn one with getting the braking point and also enough turn in to not run too wide at the exit, followed by the fast S's, then of course by Dunlop, and the next Degner 1, 2. Almost everywhere is a possibility to crash. After that we got a nasty hairpin and spoon, and after that the chicane. So a very technical track. You have to keep it together. And here with the reverse grid we have Jaden starting in P1. Next to him on the grid is his teammate Raisin, followed by Dacunia, Chappie, Funny Ball, Castle, Eskimo, Callum Wilson, Ross, Spooner, Moshe and You're winning that race in Austria. That means he's starting in last place because we have no DNFs at Austria. That was very good to see. As you can see on the bottom right, we have the full track map on, so you can see who's pitting and where your favorite driver is. And also keep telemetry, the position changes, the pit stops, the tire choice and the penalties. Going back to the tire choice, we have Jaden on softs in P1, Raisin and Dacunia starting both on mediums, Chappie on softs, Funny Bot mediums, Castle soft and Eskimo mediums. Everyone behind from P8 to P14 starting on the soft tire. So maybe it's a little bit strategic because here at Suzuki there's always a possibility to bin it or to crash, so maybe they're speculating on a safety car. But we see that both AlphaTauris are running different strategies. Also, no, that was wrong. No one's running different strategies with their teammates. Both Aston Martin starting on mediums, Ferraris on softs, Alpines starting on softs, Callum starting on softs, Castor also so. Yeah, it's only both AlphaTauris who are starting on a different strategy here. So let's see what this race brings. But when it's just as close as the last one, we're here for an absolute cracker. The guys are now forming up the grid. Jaden, the first one to be in his grid box, starting in P1 here, in front of his teammate Raisin. That camera angle is very beautiful. You can't see anything, but that spices it up a little bit for the start, just when we see the guys coming down the pit straight out at any moment. The refs are going high now and they're going. Jaden in P1 at the moment, Raisin right behind him, and we can see that Raisin has a disastrous start, an absolutely disaster for him. And Chappie, what a start, coming from P5 I think down to P2 already. What a start by Chappie. What a cracker. P4 to P2, Raisin P3, and Jaden spins! An absolutely nightmare for the AlphaTauris again. Chappie in P1, followed by Raisin Dacunia, Castor and Callum who made up 2. And Callum 3 positions, Rob with 5 positions up, Walter B with 3. So we have the teammates of Red Bull and Alpine here. We have also with Volleyball who spun maybe. Who's down to P13. D'Cunha down to P9. What happened to D'Cunha? Oh, I think he spun out of Degna too. Side by side with you. Volleyball here now in front of him. What a start. We lost Jane as our leader. We lost D'Cunha who was in P3 I think. And Rob also lost it at the exit of the chicane. What a start to this race. What a lap one. Chappie still in the lead ahead of Raisin. Castor Callum behind them. Walter B P5. Eskimo P6. Followed by Wilson Spooner, Yor Moshe who changed places to P11, Euphonibot P12, Jane behind the P13, Robin P14 after his spin out of the hairpin. And Chappie still in the lead, Raisin on medium tyres. So different strategies for these two guys. Castor already 1.8 behind Raisin, so out of the DRS window. Raisin within the DRS window, just half a second behind Chappie, but you have to keep it on track here. We have yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. Oh, and I think we have a McLaren who spun. It's Rawsome, yeah. Rawsome spun, so he's now down in last place. And we have Chappie who spun. Oh my god! The leader is cursed around here in Suzuki. Chappie down to P9 after a wonderful start. Taking the lead, settling it all down a little bit. And we have Euphoniba who is retired. Who maybe crashed into the wall after the S's. He is retired from this race. We have yellow flags. Rossum also spun, I think. Yeah, he's somewhere in the gravel. Oh my god, what a race. And Casto is suddenly just 1/10 behind Raisin. What happened there? So Raisin must have had a moment too. Still yellow flags, sector 1 and sector 2, but no safety car at the moment. Raisin under attack by both Red Bulls at the moment. Both of these guys behind are on softs. They have to make it work. Castor only 2/10 behind Raisin at the moment. Castor with the fastest lap. Oh, he's very close behind Raisin. And the DRS is enabled on lap 3. So we have Raisin the AlphaTauri P1, followed by both Red Bulls, Walter B the Alpine P4, Eskimo P5, Spooner P6. He's very close behind Eskimo. We have yellow flags again. I think that's the McLaren of Rawsome. And Spooner only 0.2 of a second behind Eskimo. Oh, and we have Jaden who DNF'd. Jaden DNF'd. I think he crashed at the beginning of the S's. Yellow flags, but no safety car at the moment. We will stay on board now with Rawson to see maybe Jaden's car, who must have crashed on the next right-hander here. Yeah, left into the barrier. Jaden crashed. He's out of that race. Race is still in P1, stalked by Castor and Cullum. Up that straight to 130R. Raisin half a second ahead of Casto. Raisin with around 60% ERS left. Casto and Cullum got enough ERS to attack him, but let's see what happens here. Very close together. Good exit by both Red Bulls. Gained 1/10 here on board with Casto with the DRS right now using ERS. He has to make that overtake work. Let's see what Cullum is doing. Cullum is closing that gap too, going down the outside too. Oh, he's backing off. Oh, that was a wise decision, I think. Casto gaining the lead here against Raisin in P2. Cullum P3, almost losing the car after riding the curb here. What a race between these top three here. Walter B still P4, Eskimo P5, and Spooner lost the position to Yor, who's now very close behind Eskimo through the S's. Eskimo, of course, on mediums, on a different strategy than Yor and Spooner. Let's see what happens here. Eskimo, the rear of his car is going a little bit left and right, and Yor's very close. Maybe he's attacking him down the hairpin. He's not. He's just showing himself in the rear. Oh, Eskimo's going wide. Yor taking a tighter line getting the better exit here. Has more grip on these softs. Very close behind Eskimo, but you have to be careful into the next left-hander. That is not an overtaking spot. And he doesn't do it. But Eskimo running wide, coming back on track. You're backing off for the one, but he's pressurizing Eskimo now. Using ERS out of the slipstream. But Eskimo also now using the ERS. Defending from Yor, and here's Spooner right behind him. They're all going up to 130R. Oh wait, Spooner sees a gap. Spooner sees the gap. And we have Moshe also there. So Eskimo kind of safe because the guys behind him are now battling. But Yor's back. Yor's back. Eskimo with a bad exit here. Yor side by side going through the grass. And we have Spooner. We have DRS everywhere. Only Eskimo the only one who hasn't it. Spooner getting the position. Yor down the inside of Eskimo. No one's crashed here. Very good, boys. Very good racing. Spooner up to P5. Yor up to P6. Eskimo losing 2 positions down to P7. Moshe P8. And we still have Casto in the lead. Raisin right behind him. Callum only half a second behind Raisin. So we got a battle of the top 3, and we have a battle from P5 down to P8. And Takunya and P9 is gaining time on them because they're battling that hard. Callum almost losing his car out of the hairpin. We have yellow flags. Who is that? I think that's Chappie. Chappie lost it out of turn 1. That means he's down to P12 right now. But we're still back here with the leaders, and Wolterby is the one who maybe can gain a few seconds here, or tenths at least, in clean air. But of course the guys ahead have DRS, which will help them in the main straight to gain back the time they lose in the corners while fighting. So Raisin now very close behind Castor, only 4 tenths off a second. He's using his ERS, he's using DRS. Callum is pitting. Raisin to save Castor maybe for the lead here. That could be a very good move by the Red Bull crew to bring in Callum to try something different, to undercut Raisin and work for Casto against Raisin in this race. That means, of course, Wolterby up to P3, Spooner P4, Yor P5, Eskimo P6, and Moshe is down to P9 because he also pitted. Takunya is now in P7, Callum P8 after his pit stop, and he has clean air ahead of him, which is very, very good after the pit stop on fresh mediums, clean air. But we stick with the leaders here. Castle P1, Raisin only 4 tenths of a second, and I wouldn't be surprised if both are coming in now. Maybe Raisin is staying out for another lap because he's on mediums and Casto on soft, but we will see in a few seconds what happens here. Going through 130R, very close. Raisin only 2 tenths behind Casto. So let's see what happens here. Casto probably covering the strategy from his team. Casto coming in, Raisin staying out. Raisin staying out. So Casto is also doing kind of an undercut on the strategy of Raisin. So let's see where Casto's coming out. We're jumping back to Callum, because Callum was the first one out of this group of the top 3 who was pitting. Spooner also into the pits. No, it's not Spooner, it's Wolterby, sorry. Casto coming out now. Let's see where Callum is. Callum is on the main straight. Let's see where he comes out. I think Casto is ahead of him. Casto will be ahead of him. So the undercut didn't work against Casto, but Takunya spun. Takunya has spun. That means he's down to P7. He lost it in turn 1. He has to be very careful now. Oh, Callum has to let him go. Callum has to let him by because of yellow flags, I think. Takunya immediately letting him by. So very clean and fair driving by these two, but that also means for Callum that he lost crucial seconds here. He's 2.5 behind Casto now. If Raisin makes it stick here, he could come out between these two guys. Rob is out of the race! Rob is out of the race! He's in the wall! Oh my god, he lost it in the S's. He's in the wall. And if the safety car is coming out now, Raisin is getting the lead, and Spooner, your Eskimo, all the guys out of Castro could pit. But we have green flags again. No safety car, not even a virtual one. So Raisin down the chicane. Let's see if he's coming to the pits now on lap 7. He's staying out another lap. But Spooner must be coming in now. We're on lap 8. Spooner finishing lap 7 now. He's on softs. He has to come in. He's staying out another lap. You're also staying out another lap. Have I missed something here? Pit stops. They didn't pit. We have yellow flags. It's Chappie again in P12. I think he spun. He has spun in the S's. Raisin just lapped in. Raisin still in P1. Decree with a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. But Casto and Cullum are the ones who are right now in net P1 to P3. They're fighting against Raisin right now. This race is almost more exciting than Austria. In Austria we didn't have those strategy calls between medium to soft for the lead, what we have here at Suzuki. But this will be very crucial. Casto only 0.3 of a second behind Eskimo, so he has to overtake him now before 130R. He's going around the outside. And let's see what Raisin is doing. Raisin is coming into the pits. Casto up to P4. Let's see where Raisin is coming out. Casto using his ERS now. He has to do everything to come out ahead of Raisin. Almost losing his car here. Chappie retired now from the race. The top 3 in the pits. Casto down the pit straight using ERS. Fastest lap. He's setting up something here. And he's P1. He's P1. What is Cullum doing? Cullum is P4 at the moment. Oh, and the best thing that could happen for Casto is that he has someone in between him and Raisin. Eskimo's P2. He's probably holding up Raisin now. That means Cullum could gain a lot of tenths here up to Raisin. Eskimo holding him up. That's crucial. We have yellow flags. Chappie has left the session. We have yellow flags. I think it's Chappie. Yeah, he's out of the race, and Raisin is not able to overtake Eskimo at the moment. There's already a 2-second gap from Casto to Eskimo. Raisin now tried to get him on the fresh softs. Cullum only 6 times behind Raisin. He also gained a lot of time here. And Eskimo trying to do everything here because he's racing these boys. He hasn't pitted yet, so he has every right to defend himself against Raisin in P3. And Casto is licking his fingers in the lead right now. He's on mediums, Raisin on soft, so that will be very crucial at the end of the race. And Cullum is still behind there. So both Red Bulls on the same strategy, both on mediums, Raisin on softs. That will be crucial. Oh, and Eskimo running wide. Has to come into the pits now. Yeah, he's coming to the pits. Cullum now right behind Raisin, has the advantage of using DRS, but Raisin of course has it too because he was behind Eskimo. But Castro has a 2.2 second gap to Raisin at the moment on lap 10 of 13. Spooner and Walterby P4, P5. Cullum is out of the race! Cullum is in the barriers! Cullum is out of this race! That's the worst case scenario for Casto, who has now to fight Raisin on his own. And we have Red Bull, AlphaTauri and Alpine in P1 in the constructors. AlphaTauri in the lead, ahead of Alpine. Behind them is Red Bull. What a race we have here at Suzuki. Everyone, of course, has pitted by this moment. Both Ferraris, P5, P6. Good performance by them, very, very solid. Position change, as we can see, Gore gained 9 positions, Moshe 7, Spooner 8, Walterby 7, Castro 5, so a lot of gains here. He couldn't be the one who lost 5, but still in the points in P8. Rawson surviving on track, which means P9 at the moment. Also good points for the McLaren team. And Castro now pushing, trying to keep that gap over a second, but Raisin is coming on his softs. 1:29.8. That's an explanation point. But Castro is trying everything to keep that second gap, but he has to be very, very careful. One mistake can ruin everything for him here. Walter be 6 seconds behind Raisin, Spooner 8 behind Walter, so not much action there, but we have action here at the top. Castro versus Raisin for the race win. Lap 11 of 13, 2.5 laps to go. Everything is on the line. No penalties for Castro nor Raisin, so it's going down. It's absolutely going down. Raisin also down on 15% of ERS. Castro with 49%. So he could use that to defend himself against Raisin on the long straight with DRS. Let's see if that's enough. Raisin half a second behind Castro now. Jumping on board with Raisin, who's only half a second behind Castro. He has ERS now, not using any ERS because he almost has nothing left. Castro with 33% at the moment, staying in P1 of course. P12 of lap 12 of 13. 2 laps to go. Everything on the line, and Raisin almost losing his car here in the S's. Castro taking a wider line, not to touch any curb. And Raisin has a few moments here, but not losing any time to Castro because he's taking wider lines just to keep his car on track. What a battle we have here. Walter B now 7.6 behind Raisin in P3. No big changes in the midfield here. Everyone has quite comfortable gaps to each other, but the gap at the front is only half a second, and that's what we want to see. A battle for the lead, for the win here at Suzuki. Castro going a little bit wide here out of Spoon, losing a 10th or maybe 2. Raisin is coming with all of his ERS that he has left, closing that gap down to 1.5 tenths, maybe going down the inside. Castro moving! Castro moving to defend himself. He's going wide here. Oh my god, what a battle. Castro still in the lead, but Raisin only 1.5 tenths behind. It's coming down now. DRS and Castro, all of his ERS now, over 30%. They're almost touching Raisin down the inside. He's backing off. Castro making it. Still in P1, last lap. Oh my god, that was close, but we still have a lap to go. No DRS. That means on paper Castro has the advantage with 35% ERS left, but you are not allowed to do one single mistake. Only 1.5 tenths between these two. And they're not losing any time to the guys behind. They're fighting so hard, but they're still gaining. What a pace do these two have here. Castro still in the lead, out of the hairpin. Gets good traction, but Raisin has around 17% ERS left now. He will have to use it all on the straight up to 130R. Castro with 40%. He has the advantage, but he has to nail the exit too. No wobble here, not going wide, good exit. The gap is up to 4.5 tenths. Both using everything they have left. Castro leading into the chicane, and probably leading after the chicane. He's nailing it, good exit. And Castro is winning Suzuki. Raisin finishing in P2 after a beautiful, wonderful battle between these two. Walter B just crossing the line in P3 for Alpine. Spooner under attack by Yor, but he's probably making it. Spooner, P4 in the Mercedes. Yor finishing in P5. His teammate Moshe just coming around the chicane will finish in P6. And both Aston Martins in P7 and P8 getting solid points here at Suzuka. Yor is getting the driver of the day here at Suzuka. Speaking of driver of the day, everyone in the Scientist Reverse Grid League who has access to Discord is able and allowed to vote for his personal driver of the day. That means we have a voting section where you are totally enabled and entitled to vote for your specific personal driver of the day. If you think that Casto and Jane had such a good battle that one of these guys deserve it instead of anyone else, just vote for it. Or if you think that Codemaster's driver of the day in Yor is absolutely correct, then vote for Yor. But feel free to vote for anyone else, because Moshe also gained 7 places here, Spooner gained 8, so a lot of wonderful performances here around Suzuka, with Casto winning that race, Raisin finishing in P2, getting the fastest lap. That means an extra point for him. Walter B finishing in P3 on the podium, Spooner P4, Yor P5, Moshe P6, followed by both Aston Martins in P7 and P8. Rawson was 2 laps down. I think he DNF'd last moment. So that means we have Rawson, Callum, Chappie, Rob, Jade, and Funnybot who DNF'd from Suzuka. What a night of league racing here in the Scientist Reverse Grid League in the Einstein League. Absolute beautiful performances by the guys. Beautiful battles and fights and battles everywhere. That was really great to watch. I hope you all enjoyed it. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we will see and hear from each other next week. Good night.